Hello everyone, welcome back to the Mauqe tutorial series. In this video, we will learn how to connect external data sources to Mauqe. We'll create a REST API connector, import data from a CSV file, and then use both of these data sources inside an application. Let's get started. From the Mauqe dashboard, navigate to the data tab. Here you will notice three sections, that is data sources, lookup tables, and published API. For this video, we'll only focus on data sources. We'll cover the other sections in the upcoming tutorials. Inside data sources, you will find two options, demo connector and new connector. We'll start with the demo connector to quickly understand how API integrations work. I'll click the demo connector. This opens a pre-configured REST API connector. First, I'll rename the demo REST API to sample API. Below that is the API URL, which points to the external service we are connecting to. Next, we have the HTTP method. We'll use the get method. The authentication section allows you to connect to secured APIs. For this public demo API, no authentication is required. You can also add HTTP headers whenever an API requires additional information. The response mapping section tells Mauqe how to read the data returned by the API. Here we define the variables that we want to use inside our application. In this example, I've already mapped fields such as ID, name, email, and phone. If you need any additional information from the API, simply click the plus button next to any available fields, or you can just click this add variable and you can click the name and field path from this list. Mauqe automatically adds that field as a new variable. For example, I'll add the website field. I'll just delete this, and now this variable becomes available throughout the application just like others. Once our variables are ready, we can decide which fields should be used as the value and which should be displayed as the label. For this demonstration, after adding these variables, you can just test. For this demonstration, I can just test with the website field and just test connection. See, all the websites which are mapped to their IDs will be displayed. For this demonstration, I'll use ID as the value field and name as the label field. Of course, depending on your application, you can choose any combination that best fits your requirements. The response mapping sections tells Mauqe which fields should be extracted from the API response. Now let's click the test connection. As you can see, the connection is successful and Mauqe displays a preview of the data returned by the API. Everything looks good, so I'll save the connector. If you click the new connector and choose REST API, you can build your own API connector from scratch. Here you will enter your own API URL, configure authentication if required, and add any HTTP headers, map the response fields, and test the connection before saving. We'll explore custom API integrations in much more detail in a future video. Now let's create another connector. This time I'll choose a CSV file. I'll upload a sample employee CSV. As you can see, the file contains employee information such as employee ID, full name, department, designation, and other details. I'll upload the CSV file from the downloads which I have already downloaded from ChatGPT. I have generated a dummy details of the CSV employees. I'll upload the same file. After uploading the file, I'll test the connection. Now I simply choose which columns should be used as a value field and label field. For this example, I'll use full name as value field, employee ID as label field. Once everything looks correct, I'll save the connector. Before saving the connector, we just have to give the name of the CSV connector which we have created. I'll just give as sample. Now we have both our CSV connector and our REST API connector ready to use. Now let's use these data sources inside an application. I'll open the application which we have created earlier and click edit. Next, I'll create a new page. Since we are creating it manually, I'll choose build manually. I'll name this page as external data. From the field types panel, I'll drag a drop-down component onto the page. On the right hand side, under options, I'll change it from static to external data. Now I can select my CSV connector. Notice that the value field and the label field are automatically populated based on the connector configuration we created earlier. Next, I'll add a multi select component. This time I'll select the sample API connector. Again, I'll choose external data as the source. This time I'll connect the sample API connector. Once again, Mauqe automatically recognizes the configured value and label field. Now I'll save the page. To see the result, I'll simply click preview. Here we can see the drop-down populated from our CSV file and the multi-select populated directly from the REST API without manually entering any options. Our application is now connected to external data sources, and that's how easy it is to connect external data source to your Mauqe's application. Whenever your data comes from a CSV file or a REST API, Mauqe makes it simple to integrate and use that information throughout your apps. In the upcoming videos, we'll explore more advanced connectors, databases, and additional integration features. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.